Welcome once again to your Backstage Pass for the Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest. My name is Jo Painter, and we are hosting this program, of course, on the People Chronicles, thanks to the Berks Arts Council. We appreciate that very much, and we appreciate the Berks Arts Council for staging this event that just keeps getting bigger and better every year. And Bennie Sims is with me right now. It's so good to see you once again.
Always good to see you.
You've been here, I want to say, since the beginning.
I don't know, maybe.
I know, it's a blur, isn't it? Well, you know what? I think Bennie Sims and I think Groovemasters and I think the Jazz Fest truly does not start until the Groovemasters take stage at the Peanut Bar. Yeah. I mean, that's what makes it official.
Yeah. This will be the 27th year. We missed 1 year.
You missed a year, right?
Yeah, I was in Japan, but this will be the 27th year, which I can't believe. 27 years and never was booked out of the country. Usually that's what would happen. I never was booked on that day.
Except for once?
Except once, the first one.
Oh, it was the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
I missed the first one. It's crazy.
I can't picture that because I can't picture the Groovemasters without you.
They didn't perform.
Oh, okay.
Cliff was with me too. So it was Cliff and I and who else was Kurt? No, Kurt wasn't with. I don't think David went. No, it was just Cliff and I. We were gone. We were gone. We were definitely. That's our first year. At that time, we were touring with the 3 Degrees. Mm-hmm. That was our first year with them, and so we were going all the time.
Oh, you needed to be there, right?
Yeah, we were going all the time. So
when you think of the Groovemasters, who do you think? Who are the key partners that are kind of still there? Yourself and Cliff.
Yeah, and well, David Cullen. I mean, David and I and Dave Capana actually started the Groovemasters, and I
didn't know that.
Yes, it started at the downtown. So, and it was another joke name that actually Dave Capana came up with, and I was in a band before that. Me and David and Dave Capana. We're in a band called Marty and the Mangoes.
I remember that.
Yes, we were. And that was a joke name. We made that name up to giggle, and it stuck, you know. So Groovemasters kind of was the same thing.
A joke name.
Joke name, and it stuck.
We've all taken it quite seriously.
No, we ended up taking it quite seriously.
It means something. So the Groovemasters, certainly you get together and you play at other venues. Oh, it's not just a Peanut Bar thing. But
No, but not, you know, in the old days, we played a lot more. But the band actually only plays about 3 or 4 times a year now. You know, because it's the only time I can get everybody together, right. You know, and the band's not cheap, so, you know.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, so we don't do it as much as we used.
So think about what you just said. The band, they perform 3 to 4 times a year, mm-hmm. and that's not because that's all you're working. You all have a very industrious, if you will, music career.
Yeah, we
do.
So
when you guys get together, is that like the playpen?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you nailed that.
It's what it's like watching.
It is. It's like you can exhale. Yeah. You get with that group, and I think you could go to each member, and that group, when we finally get together and play, it's just like home. You know, yeah. It is. It really is, and I'm sure every one of them would say the same thing. We've all said it to each other.
It parlays to the audience. I mean, I believe that. Coming from an audience mm-hmm. perspective, and that's what I see. You guys are just having a real good time.
Because you know, I don't mean this to start any mess, but we don't really care whatever. we're glad they're enjoying it, but we're doing it for us, and that's so, you know. I mean, we're happy everybody enjoys it, but. Yes. We're doing it for us. So, yeah, I think it's infectious.
It is. Infectious is a good word. So you are also playing this year, I think, are you doing the Erich Cawalla quartet with the Pops?
Yes.
Now, how is that vibe different than just the Groovemasters?
Well, first of all, Erich and I are working on his first solo album, and it's what they call the American Songbook, you know, these standards, Stella by Starlight, and a couple really beautiful arrangements that are old Sinatra songs, things like that. So there's string and horn arrangements to these pieces. It's not like our smooth jazz thing where we're just, you know, you got a beat and keyboards and drums and a blues sax melody over top. So this is intricate, beautiful, orchestrated strings and horns music, and the arrangements Dave De Palma's doing.
Right.
And I'm producing it. And so with the pops, we're going to have those arrangements. So they'll have these strings and the horns and the woodwinds and all that stuff. So I've done this before with Nina Simone's daughter, Lisa Simone. And I did this only one other time before with the symphony orchestra, and that was in Vancouver, Canada, with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, which I heard was the one that, what's his name? David, I can't think of his name. Big time producer. Produce everybody.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Anyway, David Foster.
Oh, okay.
David Foster, yes. Matter of fact, I just saw him when was it? Last January in L.A. And didn't realize I was sitting right behind him the whole time. It was crazy. So anyway, that's another story. But so this thing at the with the Reading Symphony Pops is a first for all of us, I think.
But a different vibe. More.
Yeah, because it's going to be. I'll tell you what. When I first did the symphony thing in Vancouver, it's breathtaking to be around that size of a unit. I've been in small bands most of my life, to be in that size and that many people playing music at the same time.
And to come together as one.
Oh my God, it's like a force up there. It's ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be.
I got to ask you this. Erich was in here and he was talking about kind of growing in his own jazz self with his music.
Yeah.
And he talked about you. He said, Bennie told me, Erich, you got to feel it.
You got to feel it.
And so when you say that, how does that parlay to, obviously you're feeling it when you're playing with the Groovemasters.
Yeah.
How does that parlay, you got to feel it, to producing an album or performing live with the Pops?
Because you have to feel it no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
So Erich, when Erich started working with me, and I started working with him, whatever, I don't know, it's maybe 8 or 9 years now.
I would think
that.
it has to be by now.
But he was young. He's still young, but he was young and just really crossing into the jazz thing to really do it, the smooth jazz thing and the swing things. But he always had the skill.
He works hard at perfecting his craft.
His skill is high level, And I would listen to this young guy going, man, if he gets serious, it's going to be.
Well, he
really
attributes
something.
some of that to you.
Well,
because you injected the feeling.
I just producing him, but then I started producing his music, and so then of course I get one-on-one with him in the studio, and I think that was more or less him finding himself.
Who told you to find yourself? Who told you about how to feel it?
That's easy. I always could feel it. I don't.
That
was like.
Sometimes that is a natural thing.
It is.
It's a gift.
It is because I couldn't read music. I'm self-taught, so I couldn't read music. Now I do and all that, but I'm self-taught. So all I could do was feel it, hear it, and feel it. That's all I could do.
Cliff's like that too.
Yes, Cliff is exactly the same way.
Yeah, and that's why there's that energy between you guys. That makes sense.
Yes.
I have 5 questions for you. You ready?
Oh no.
Everybody, this is what we call the lightning round here on the Backstage Pass, and it's all about jazz. So we're gonna focus. What does jazz music mean to you, Bennie?
Oh my God, jazz music means. You know what? I think the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of jazz music is my mother.
Really?
Yeah, because she was the jazz listener. She mostly listened to the singers, Ella, Carmen, Nancy Wilson, Dinah, all of them, Gloria Lynn. So, whenever my mom played records, that's what we heard, that and Duke Ellington. So, never realizing when I was younger how much it was sticking with me.
That explains very clearly when you say, well, I just always felt it. It's your mother.
Yeah.
There's a strong connection.
Yeah.
How has it impacted your life? Jazz music itself, how's that impacted your life?
It's impacted my life in different ways. The truth is, I was with Pieces of a Dream for quite a few years, and actually still working with them in the studio and production and composition and things like that. Kurt Harmon from Pieces of a Dream and I just wrote a song last weekend for the next album.
What is it?
I don't know what the next album's going to be called yet.
No, the song.
Oh, we haven't named it yet. It's an instrumental.
It'll be like the Groovemasters. You'll just come up with it.
Oh, it's
right?
funky. Yeah, it will be. That's how it's going to happen. We haven't named it yet. I don't know. We have Kurt and I, him and I have been working together for years and years and years. We actually put an album out together in 2005, I think it was. And so, we've been doing that forever. So I think when I got with Pieces of a Dream is when jazz started impacting me more as far as career-wise, because then I was actually doing it to earn a living.
So it directed your career path.
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely put me in the recording studio, taught me how to produce, taught me how to at least do that form of jazz, to a higher level. And so that was the real...
Well, the production element.
Yeah,
That's a big part of what you do now.
And the playing and the sensibility, really. I mean, I've always had a natural sensibility about the swing.
Yeah.
Because of my mom,
Duke Ellington.
Yeah, but the smooth jazz, the Grover Washington thing and the Pieces of a Dream thing, they definitely put that in me, and they definitely steered me that way. So most of the records that I've done have been with them,
So there's pieces of this coming along with you
all
throughout your whole
time,
career.
yeah.
How about jazz mentors? Any specific?
Oh, that's easy. A guy who's no longer with us, Archie Jenkins. Without him, I don't think I'd be here talking to you right now.
Really?
Yeah, he was the guy. He heard me play. I was playing with him and Bobby Newton when I was 18 years old, and he heard me play, and he always trying to get me. You need to learn to play jazz, boy. You need to learn how to swing.
What were you playing when he heard you?
We were playing mostly cover material, dance music stuff.
Okay.
We were traveling with Bobby.
Okay.
And I was at Firestone at the time, but I was laid off, so I got to tour with them. So but one day, he was on me all the time. Of course, I was a little hard-headed, so I was like, I'm playing Earth, Wind and Fire and Ohio Players. I don't want to hear nothing about no Miss D and Errol Garner. Get out of here, you couldn't tell me anything. So anyway.
He told you anyway.
He kept telling me, kept on me until one day, we were in Boston, Massachusetts at a club that Bill Russell owned called Estelle's. I'll never forget it. And this man was the dean of jazz at the Boston Conservatory of Music. I think his name was Lewis. Last name was Lewis, I believe.
Was he playing at Estelle?
Well, he came in here. He's friends of Archie's. They were friends.
Yeah.
And so he gets up on stage, invite him on stage. I'm sitting there going, uh-oh. What are they going to do? I don't know these dudes.
Are you up for it?
So they called off a couple tunes, and I looked at the man. I said, I don't know these tunes. And he goes, you got good ears. I've been listening to you. You got good ears. Just go ahead and try to play along. Well, I made a fool out of myself. A complete fool out of myself.
You just feel that way, or you?
I did.
Really did.
I did. I mean, I couldn't even fake it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because you can't fake that music. And we went down to the dressing room afterwards, and I'm sitting there dejected, head down, and Archie goes, "You ready to learn to play jazz now?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Do you think he did that on purpose?
Yeah, I do. And he went over to his briefcase, opened his briefcase up, and threw his book down at me, saying, "No, there, I bought that for you a year ago."
Oh my goodness! He was dedicated to you and your growth. That's pretty neat. That's a great story.
So that's an easy story to tell.
There's your mentor.
Yeah.
Wow, what a tribute.
Yeah,
to him.
Yeah, Cliff and I on our album that we did together, we did a song.
For him?
Yeah, for him. Yeah, it's
beautiful.
called "To My Mentor."
So that's you then are kind of part of his legacy.
Yeah,
and we don't think about our legacies a whole lot, but because we kind of, as we live it, we don't think about it. But what would you say your jazz legacy is?
Oh my God. Well, like you said, Archie is part of my legacy. And I'm carrying that. I think my legacy is that I don't know. I think I just. It's hard to answer that question. I can't answer that question. What is my legacy? My legacy, I'll parallel it with, I guess, what people believe about me, is that music is my life, and it always has been. I worked at Firestone for 5 years and decided now I'm going to do music, and everybody thought I was crazy, and I did it. And so if my legacy is anything, it's that I've lived it. I've done it.
You chased that dream.
Yes, I
And you
did.
made it yours. You own it. You
Yes,
live
sir.
it every day.
Yep.
That's a beautiful legacy.
Oh.
Listen to that one. Yeah, take that one home with you. And finally, and this is a tough one too, because especially for you, you have 27 years of Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest memories, so I'm not going to ask you for the best moment.
Oh.
But what's a highlight memory? One that you go, I remember when. And it
In
was
the
pretty
Berks
cool.
Jazz?
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, there's the saddest moment is when we had to play for Alyssa. I think that will always stick with me, bigger than anything in the Jazz Fest. That's the most painful thing that's ever happened to me, and I think all of us really in the band. So, her playing for that was definitely, it wasn't a low point. It was a high point. It was a high point, and I think that the memory of just doing her memorial concert was the best. And we played great that day.
You did.
Yeah,
That
we
was
did.
a wonderful tribute
We
and
played
honor.
great that day.
That's a good one.
I know I can't take a picture down from my Facebook. I've been trying for 2 years and I just can't.
It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is beautiful.
And I think of that show. When I see it, I think of that show.
Yep. Yeah, see?
Don't take it down yet.
I can't. I've been trying to. I just can't. Every time I think I'm going to do it, I can't.
Then it's not meant to be.
No, it isn't.
Benny, this is a pleasure. It always is.
Oh,
Thank you for
thank
coming
you.
in and taking the time with us for this Backstage Pass. And we look forward to seeing you kick it off once again
Oh, yeah.
at the Peanut Bar with the Groovemasters and jazzing up the Pops.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
That's the following with Eric and Will and the Reading Pops.
That's right. And I'll be closing it up on that Sunday, the last Sunday of the fest at the Grilled and Chill. That's like my favorite place to play.
There you go. Three times
Yeah.
with Benny, kind of like the 3 degrees.
Yes.
There's a
yes,
parallel
yeah.
there. Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.